Hey folks, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Julianne Hoore, the bearded bombshell of the Scottish drag scene. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 6, and the Little Black Dress Runway. Now, the Little Black Dress is probably the most famous category of any fashion piece, period. Now, if you don't know what the Little Black Dress is, it was made famous by Coco Chanel back in the 20s. It was part of her signature pieces as well as many of her other pieces such as the bar coat and skirt. But the Little Black Dress is what she's most particularly known for. It first appeared in Vogue in 1926, and in the Vogue article it said it was an item of clothing that was a uniform for all women of taste. Ever since, designers have been recreating their own version of the Little Black Dress, so it'll be exciting to see where the queens are pulling their references from. But I also think it'll be a particular challenge to do something brand new with this category. So many Little Black Dresses have been made, so let's just get straight on into it. First up we have is Tina Burner. First up, she comes out in a pair of overalls, which I was like, okay, obviously there's going to be a reveal here. It was obvious, which is my least favourite kind of reveal. I like a bit of a surprise. I think most of us could agree with that. And of course, as she does, she takes it off and she's got this little black dress on underneath that has paint splatters at the bottom and then handprints of paint on the tits and ass. And I like the campiness of it. I really thought that was fun, especially the little handprints were great. However, I think the drips could have gone further and really sold that painterly vibe that she was trying to sell at the start of the runway. It wasn't particularly convincing. Like, if you're going to do paint drips, really go all in. Have it coming from the seams of the shoulder, down from the neck. Still have those handprints on, because those were fun, campy elements that I definitely associate with Tina Burner. But yeah, I think she could have just amped it up just to the next level, and that's always what I'm missing on Tina's runways. She's got the campy element, but where's like the punch, you know, like where's the gag in it, you know? Didn't necessarily have me dripping for more, but it did still have me gagged. Next up is Kandy Muse giving a Comme des Garçons fantasy. Now, we have actually seen a very similar look from Aja, surprise surprise, from season 9 when she did her Lady Gaga runway. She wore pretty much the exact same look, but just in the solid colour that Lady Gaga wore when they had to do one of the looks of hers. But I like how Kandy Muse has changed it up to be, it's not just a little black dress, it's a white dress with a little black dress painted onto it. Because the whole idea of that look was about, especially for Lady Gaga, when she was wearing it, people were criticising her body. And why not create an illusion with it and go wild? I thought this was a really good interpretation of doing a little black dress without it just being a simple black dress, you know? She also states that the dress in the painting is of Princess Diana's revenge dress, which is probably one of my most absolute favourite dresses in fashion history, mostly because the historical context with it. This hasn't quite featured in The Crown yet, so little spoilers maybe for the next upcoming season, but this dress was worn the night that a documentary aired when Prince Charles announced basically that he was having an affair with Camilla when he was married to Diana, and then she went to this Vanity Fair party wearing this dress and basically showed him up, and also breaking probably many, if not all, royal protocols. I'm not quite sure Kandy Muse's look was just as iconic, but nevertheless, it had me gagged. Next up we have is Gottmik once again celebrating his trans pride, showing off his scars from his top surgery, which I think is fantastic, but it also bedazzling up the nipples with the most beautiful nipple tassels. Like, I need those, like, fuck. Although I don't think they would stick to my hairy chest, to be fair. Nevertheless, she has the littlest, incy, little teeny weeny, Barbie size little black dress covering their genitals, which I think is so hilarious, so fantastic, taking a new direction, literally going for the smallest black dress possible. And then when they turn around, you can see a little black bow on their butt. I thought that was brilliant, so iconic, so stupid and ridiculous, and like wearing the least amount of clothes possible. Gag. Next up, as we have is Elliott with 2 T's wearing the, I'm gonna presume, Pretty Little Thing ASOS. This dress was so simple. I actually have a dress very similar that I wore in my first bearded drag queen makeup transformation. Make sure to check that out if you're interested in getting this glam. And you know what, yeah, it is a very well done version of that dress, but it's not particularly gag worthy. It's not got me going, wow, that's the most stunning, beautiful thing. It's not conceptual in any way. You know, like, where's the story? Where's the gag? Where's the va-va-voom to the look? And I didn't have that with this look. The coat really didn't do anything for me as well that she took off. Ugh, unfortunately, Elliott, it's a hag. Next up we have is Tamisha Iman wearing obviously a dress that she's made herself. And I really like the dress from the bust up. The showing off the breastplate, it was beautiful. I really like the shape that was being created with the facings, I'm going to presume, that's attached separately, pointing up. It's not necessarily part of shoulder pads or part of sleeves. It was just a separate piece that came up, was very structured, very straight up, very well made for sure. But at the waist, it just seemed very frumpy to me. There was no real proper waist in from there, you know, like there's so many layers going on. And I believe there was like sequins on the side I could sort of glance at, but it wasn't exciting. It wasn't a head-to-toe look for sure by any stretch of the imagination. So unfortunately, it's a hag as well. Next up we have is Olivia Lux given supermodel of the 90s. And this is the comparison of like at least selling a story, is kind of giving a kind of 90s Naomi, Kate Moss, beautiful Iman kind of model-esque look. I loved it. I thought it was great. Apparently this dress was meant to be something entirely else, but it was like last minute, 3 a.m. of the day that she was packing up, and they decided just to go with the lining of the dress that they were trying to make, and then she just stoned it in the hotel. And you know what? Sometimes, yes, simple doesn't work, but simple on this occasion worked really well because she really sold a storyline with it. And you know what? Olivia, again, has me gagged. Next up is Utica Queen, inspired by the Audrey Hepburn. Of course, looks like Audrey in the film Breakfast at Tiffany's, and that little black dress that she's got on, which is another iconic dress in this category in terms of fashion history. I really love this look, but obviously there's a difference between us watching it and the judges being there in the moment. The judges aren't getting the story unless they visually see it. They're not getting an explanation until they're on that runway explaining it. However, we, the audience, are sat home listening to the explanation of the queens in their confessionals as they're walking down the runway. And so then we're getting told what the story is, and we're like, oh my god, that's beautiful. She's the earring. Like, that's brilliant. I am the earring. If you're going to be a queen on Drag Race, it's obviously clear that you need to be able to tell the story on the stage without speaking for the judges to then not be critiqued. But nevertheless, I thought this was a look that belongs like in an editorial where you can see the earring up close and you have other shots of her posing. You know, I thought this belongs in a magazine somewhere and had me totally gagged. Next up is Denali doing arachnid spider. Again, at least someone's coming with concept here. My first thought was I loved the little tassels that were coming off the skirt at the bottom. They were very well placed and draping down the kind of, it was like not a waterfall skirt, but like a high-low kind of effect. I thought it was very beautiful. And then of course then you can see the spider web when she opens up her arms and turns around, and that cape. I thought again it was all connecting really well with the little bits that were draping at the bottom, and the cape worked really well together. Of course her eyes were black, and then she takes the little fascinator hat off and you can see those prosthetic spider eyes. I thought that was beautiful. Again, given us a story, given us a concept, and she really sold it well to us, and I was gagged. Next was Rosé, going for kind of a similar concept as Kandy Muse's Comme des Garçons look, but in a totally different way, totally different vibe, having a little black dress shape within the dress that she had, which was accentuated by the tulle going around it. Now, I really did not like that tulle, or the shape of the dress. I didn't like this, to be perfectly honest. Let's just keep it like that. The little dress on the inside, I wish had a little bit more shape nipping in and out, kind of a bit more kind of curve and a bit more campiness, a bit more kind of dragginess. And the same for the tulle as well. It just seemed like a kind of a block with a little bit of shape going in and back out. It really wasn't enough for me. And Rosé, unfortunately, this was a haggard hag. Next is LaLaRe giving the shortest dress possible. This was ridiculous. That dress was so short. What I do like about this dress is the bedazzled jewellery at the top. However, the rest of it is so boring, and of course the skirt keeps on riding up. And you know, if a skirt's going to be riding up, make it intentional, make it part of the story, make it a concept. Is it like a skimpy, like, I don't know, like LA Essex girl, you know, something like that, and really play on the fact that you're like having to shuffle your dress down constantly. There was no story to go with this, so it kind of just left me a little bit like, okay, what about it? What's about this good? Again, I love the jewellery, so maybe like take that further down onto the rest of the dress. If she did, she would have looked like a chandelier almost, and I think that would have been a concept that would have been really beautiful and wasn't explored by anyone on the runway. And she already had this piece obviously ready, so it's just been like have jewels for the rest. But she didn't do that. So unfortunately I was just left in dark, and it's a hag. And last up we have is Symone. And Simone's little black dress is a skimpy little black dress to say the least, with her body all showing, a lot of fringe going on as well, which I thought was really fun. Very different in terms of everyone else's interpretation of a little black dress. I wouldn't necessarily rank this in Simone's finest looks. I was a little underwhelmed by the dress itself. It didn't sell me on any particular fantasy. Nevertheless, her hair, again, is the most stunning hair we've of course seen on the Drag Race runway stage. Phenomenal. It wouldn't be Symone if there wasn't spectacular hair. Apparently this is a reference to a RuPaul video, Back to the Roots, I believe they said. So that's the note I have, at least on my computer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reference, but the hair is stunning. The dress is cute. So consider me gagged. And that is it for the girls. And unfortunately, this week we're saying goodbye to the mother of all of the queens, let's be real. Tamisha Iman served up this year. I wish she had a little bit more time to get ready, because, like, as she was saying, especially when she was leaving, I don't think she was quite ready for season 13. I think season 14 would have really been her shot where she could have excelled. But you know what? I think what she showed was phenomenal. And she's clearly a fan favourite amongst not only the cast, but many of the fans. So many of the fans love her. I love her. I think her drag is phenomenal. And I cannot wait to see more of Tamisha Iman. For gaggiest gag, I think I would go for Utica. The toss-up between Utica and Gottmik. I think Gottmik's was beautiful, but I really love the details of Utica's being the earring. Yes, of course, the judges didn't get it straight away, but we obviously got told the story straight away. And I really do think that was a fashion moment and such a clever way of taking the idea of Little Black Dress and then taking the earring and creating a whole look just out of an earring. Like, it can be done. Like, you can take these small details and make a whole look out of it. So that would have to be my gaggiest gag. Let me know in the comments down below who's your gaggiest gag. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to press that like button down below, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. If you want to check out more of me, make sure to check me out on all social media at Julianne Hoore, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye folks.